the most expensive Wonderkids 11 by Transfer Market.
Yep.
So, yeah, it's an interesting list. And for anyone thinking, oh, the best goalkeeper must be Donnarumma, no, he's not 21 anymore. He's 22, guys.
Yeah.
So he's not anymore in the under 21 list.
He's graduated.
So, exactly. So I'm gonna say the team in
Yep.
a 4-3-3 scheme with an attacking midfielder. So goalkeeper is Ilan Meslier, left back Alfonso Davies, center backs Fofana, and then we have three players with the same price: Lacroix, Sven Botman, and Badbashil.
Yep.
Three amazing center backs. Then at right back we got Reece James, two CMs, Pedri, and Foden. And at cam, we have João Felix. At left wing, Jaden Sancho. And at striker, Erling Haaland. Right winger to finalize, Ferran Torres, with the same price as Mason Greenwood. So, goalkeeper, do we agree with it, Ilan Meslier?
Yes. To be honest, I think more of an impact for their team because he's playing European is Anatoly Trubin. But you've got the Premier. The reason why Meslier is in there is he's worth 20 million according to Transfermarkt, whereas Anatoly Trubin's only worth 8, and that's simply because of geographic location, right?
Yeah.
One's in Ukraine. Yeah.
League.
And league. Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah, it's the league, you know. It's so.
Yeah.
I think Ilan Meslier for sure. The development with Bielsa is noticeable, but I want to say to the listeners, watch out for Diogo Costa at Porto. Okay, this kid is slowly becoming the keeper for Portugal, and even he's not under 21. I think right now, I think he's 22. But Luis Maximian had a really good performance with Granada too. But Diogo Costa, he's the under 21. Yeah. Watch out, guys.
You were really excited about that Luis Maximiano game the other day. You texted me.
First half.
Yeah, that's great.
Barcelona, no chance to score. He was everywhere, like a cat. Like he was really good.
That's awesome.
He was really good.
That's awesome. So, and Diogo Costa, that's a good shout as well. And I think there's some others that we have to throw in there, like an Irsin Destinaglu. I don't know if I said that Turkish last name correctly, but he's obviously been pretty vital for them. Martin van der Voort still for Genk in the Belgian Pro League. And then, the other one, unfortunately, he was just sold. I think it was Dogan Alamdar is another Turkish goalkeeper to watch out for. I think he just joined Stade Rennais. I mean, Stade Rennais is just like snap. They're literally playing Football Manager. They're just snapping people up. But I think when it comes down to it, it's Meslier. You could make an argument that Anatoly Trubin and Meslier are similar in terms of actual talent. But Meslier playing on the stage, Leeds United, Marcelo Bielsa putting his confidence behind him. I can understand why he's in here.
So, left back?
Yeah.
So, Alfonso Davies, do you agree or disagree?
Well, I obviously agree, but I think we know that there's going to be a slight disagreement here between you and I.
Mate, you know, people know Nuno Mendes is my left back, my under 21 left back, and it's not for people say, oh, you're just being picky. No, I really believe it now because what you're going to see this season, it's going to happen. And saying Nuno Mendes versus Alfonso Davies, we might see it in a game in the Champions League. So I'm very hopeful. I'm very hopeful for what's going to happen for him. And I'm going to mention it previously. Again, Bruno Fernandes left for 60, Nuno for 40. It's going to be the same. It's going to look embarrassing for Sporting in terms of deals. So left back, Nuno Mendes.
I mean, these are slam dunks here. It's either Alfonso Davies or it's Nuno Mendes, and because beyond that, you have Rayon Aït-Nouri who plays for Wolves. You've got you could put Josko Gvardiol who plays center back and can play on the wing. Adrian Truffert, Brandon Williams, but none of these guys are up there with either of those two. And you're right. This is just a snapshot in time at left back of Alfonso Davies, who obviously has dealt with injuries over the last few years for Bayern, but obviously he's got a Champions League under his belt and a bunch of Bundesliga titles, whereas Nuno Mendes is coming up. He's coming up. He just made his big move to PSG. And once that success starts to roll for him, something tells me 40 million is going to go to 80 to 90 to 100.
Exactly. Exactly. That's it, Bretson.
I'm coming around. I'm coming around.
Scored 80 million for Nude Mitch. I love it. Okay.
We'll see.
So, center backs. So, we got Wesley Fofana, and I'm going to say Lacroix. So, do you agree?
Yeah, this is a peak form thing, right? Versus current form. I mean, yeah, when Wesley Fofana was Leicester City's main man, he was just phenomenal until that injury. And so I'm absolutely fine with that. That's obviously a product of the league as well, as we know. And Lacroix right now for Wolfsburg in the Bundesliga has been phenomenal. I'd pick him probably currently over Sven Botman right now. But I got to say, coming up, man, Saliba has looked phenomenal for Marseille.
Yes! Arsenal fans.
Yeah.
I agree. Saliba is looking different.
Yes.
He's looking different. It's a redemption story for Saliba.
I hope
it's
so.
the second loan. Pressure. If it didn't succeed now, he wouldn't succeed later, in my opinion.
And that Marseille
top level.
Yeah, and that Marseille team is fun to watch. And I sincerely hope it's consistent this whole year. And I really do hope for Arsenal fans that next year he's starting right next to Gabriel. With Ben White or whatever, then you start to look at it and you say, wow, this is a young center back core that we can grow with and get really flipping excited about.
So I agree with Wesley Fofana because he's so dominant in the Premier League at such a young age. Unfortunate injury, but he'll come back stronger, guys. But the other center back, I was leaning before the Euros with Sven Botman, because I love Sven Botman last season. But I might sound biased, but I love Gonçalo Inácio at Sporting. And a player for Ajax was Julian Timber. I like him too a lot.
Yes.
Okay, so... And Badiashile, he's good, but... I think long-term, these two that I mentioned, Gonçalo Inácio and Timber... They're gonna be at peak. They'll be at the world's biggest stage.
Yeah, Timber's versatility is what makes it there too. But Inácio, that's a great one because
because I'm gonna go bold here, Breton. I'm gonna tell you here, Gonçalo Inácio is the best passer in all these players. He's the best passing center back under 21 in the world. Gonçalo Inácio.
I mean, I'd actually probably agree with that, and I haven't watched too much of him, but
trust GPS radar pinpoint Gonçalo Inácio.
Fair enough.
Very, very good.
Only other guys that would be listed here that would really have a shout. Yeah, Eric Garcia, Mohamed Simakan, who's starting to come around for Red Bull Leipzig. Big win for them today. Jesse Marsh, hang in there. The funny thing is what did Chelsea get for Mark Gahey? And I think he's only on here for like a $10 million valuation. So I think Crystal Palace paid like 20 million extra. But yeah, I mean, these are all guys that haven't yet. The only other shout when he was peak form last year is the Albanian center back for Roma. Yeah, Marash Kumbula. I really when he's peak form, he's phenomenal. I don't think he's quite there yet. But I do think he'll get there under Mourinho. So I'd watch out for him. He was only 25 million compared to these guys. But I really like your shouts of Timber and Inácio. And I would even add in there Tanguy Nwanzu from
Bayern. But I'm waiting on it.
Yeah.
I'm waiting on it. I've been waiting on it too much, Breton. Come on. For me to mention, they need to be showing me.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what. I'm going to throw one in there, a little biased, because he just registered an assist today, and he's starting for Hoffenheim. Chris Richards is not quite over the 21 hump, so he's still in this. He's probably more like 7 million. Bayern loanee to Hoffenheim. He's looked pretty damn good so far. So
yeah, Chris Richards is a stud. He's
going to be. Yep.
Okay, right. So Hoffenheim, it's working out. So right back. Sorry, we can't disagree. Reece James, right?
No, I don't think we can disagree. Yeah. I mean, here's where if there's a weak spot in the world most expensive 11 for U21s. It's right back because you got Reece James, you've got like Serginho Dest, but then it goes to guys that
Max
are playing for Max Aarons, Tariq Lamptey. But then you go to guys that are really playing well right now, like Jeremy Frimpong and Divine Wrench. Yeah. I mean, those guys are they're in that like preliminary stage of the Nuno Mendes ascendancy, right? So I can't go. Hopefully that Reece James injury today is not that bad. But Reece James is the man U21 right now.
Yeah, for sure. At right back, like that's it's no dispute right there. No. So this the midfield talk. So the trio, just a reminder, is João Felix, Foden, and Pedri. Very attacking. So what's your under 21 trio in the world right now? Most expensive.
Well, I'm gonna pick two kind of. I mean, Pedri and Foden seems right to me. But based on current form. Based on current form, I think you and I are in agreement that it should be Bellingham and Camavinga. And then at attacking mid, to be honest, right now, I think João Felix is the only one that we would all agree probably shouldn't be there. That's a product of his 105. I know you want it to be true, but I have to put currently Florian Wirtz at AM.
Ooh, I like it.
And at the double CM, I'm going to stick with Pedri, but I'm going to put Bellingham next to him currently, right now. And I'm going to launch out Foden, get rid of João Felix, and somehow Camavinga is not in there. And Chouameni is the other one that I feel really bad about keeping out. So what do you think about that? Am I going to get killed?
Well, the one I feel bad keeping out is Camavinga and Gravenberch.
Oh, yeah. Oh, geez.
I feel bad, like, keeping Gravenberch because I think Gravenberch would be slotted in right now in a Barcelona team and would change how things look.
Yeah.
That's how confident how he is. So, my midfield, I have Pedri.
Yep.
Because Pedri is in the Golden Boy talk.
Sure.
And I got Jude Bellingham, too, because Jude Bellingham is, like, the number 2 in the Golden Boy talk, which will be another talk soon.
Yeah.
But at Cam, Wirtz is impressing me a lot at the beginning of this season.
Right now. Yeah.
But I still think Foden is in a different category to every single youngster in the world. Right now, I think Mbappe, Haaland, and Foden are in their own level. Okay? Yeah. I feel like Greenwood is touching, Vinicius is touching, Felix wants to touch, like Fati's close, but Foden, Haaland, Mbappe are on their own level. So having Foden at Cam, I feel that's perfect. And just like you, I like your mention. And I just want to end up by saying, Felix, man, I believe in you. I really believe in you. The amount of times I'm here preaching, please, man, it's now it's the time, okay? And if it's not gonna happen this season at Atletico, it's time to go, okay? No more. And he'll look different somewhere else because he'll have more pressure to compete. And he'll have pressure to decide the right move, okay? He'll have pressure in that sense too.
And the funny thing here is that we didn't even really mention Jamal Musiala. Dominic Soboslai, who's been, he's showing glimpses again. He's going
Gio Reyna.
And I think you've got some smaller league guys that can make a shout. I mean, anytime you outshine a Messi or a Hakimi or any of those guys, a Charles de Ketelaere needs to be in there. And I'm gonna give a shout out to Crystal Palace's Conor Gallagher. This kid has an engine. He's a tackler. He's just kind of like a fulcrum that you can use there, that pops up, scores a goal, has an assist every once in a while. That's another Chelsea transplant to Crystal Palace.
That's bold, Breton, though.
I know. And I get it. He's nowhere close to these guys right now, but he is. He's just a player I really like, and I don't know. I just enjoy him. Sorry,
no,
I have to announce it. And Maxence Caqueret is a guy I still believe in, even though Lyon does not look like the team that's gonna be phenomenal this year. Maxence Caqueret is a guy that any team can build around, in my opinion.
Very nice.
So, man, that is a stacked midfield U21. That is just stacked, though. I
that means we're safe for the future right there.
Yeah.
And like
we'll
if in the Wonderkids highlights, we'll mention even more players that like Gavi. Just saying, and in future under 21 lists, we're gonna mention for sure.
Absolutely.
So, trio up front: Sancho, Haaland, and Ferran Torres or Greenwood. Do you agree? What's your trio?
Okay. All right. I am comfortable with, based on current form, I would actually put Vinicius at left wing. Instead of Sancho. I understand why Sancho is obviously he's valued at 100 million to transfer marked, but I would definitely have Vinicius, Ancelotti's Vinicius. And then up top I got Haaland. I have no problem with that. Right wing, I would definitely put I'd put Greenwood over Ferran. I thought he actually looked decent today in that loss. And I don't know, but Ferran's good too. Oh, this is too hard. Yeesh.
So
yeah,
what's your trio? So it's Vinicius with Ancelotti,
yep,
Haaland, and Greenwood.
That's correct. That's my three.
Okay.
Yep.
That's a nice trio. That's a nice trio.
Yeah.
My trio is a bit different because there's a player that I really, 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 really love, and it's the type of player that I feel like if he was playing at Chelsea, Liverpool, I think this is bold, but I think he could slot in at Liverpool for sure coming off the bench.
I know where you're going.
And I'm going to say Jeremy Doku. He, in my opinion, should be in the top, like he should be in the trio up front in the under 21 list for me. Because Jeremy Doku is the best under 21 dribbler in the world, no doubt. If you see that Euros game, okay, that Belgium gets eliminated, he was doing everything and anything for Belgium to go through. So at 19, seeing that and going to a team, Stade Rennes, that feel like that look like an ambitious club, signing potential players, they signed the cream of the pot, the cream on top of the cake. It's Doku, okay? And he's a baller. So my trio is Haaland, Doku, and Jaden Sancho.
Okay.
But Jaden Sancho, you gotta wake up because right now Mason Greenwood is better than Jaden Sancho. Okay. So I'm saying this hoping Jaden Sancho's showing what he showed at Dortmund. Okay. And another reason to say something is wrong, something is happening at Man United, okay? Because you have a player that was top leading assists, okay, in the world last season, and now not even close. Okay, so there you go.
Fair enough.
Sancho, Haaland, Sancho, Haaland, and Doku.
And that front three, I mean, that's where a lot of the money is, right? We obviously overvalued our attackers, especially young attackers. So think about the players right now that are in form that aren't getting a shout here, and that's because there's only 3 spots in this particular tactical setup. You don't have Bukayo Saka. You don't have Moise Kean or Ansu Fati, who he's back, right? According to Barcelona's Twitter, he is back. You don't have Dusan Vlahovic. You don't have Antony or Dejan or who knows, maybe Ancelotti can work some magic with Rodrigo. But Damsgaard or Jeremy Pino. I mean, these are guys that are pretty in form, but you don't have that boost yet, and consistency has to be an issue there. This is why this exercise is actually fun to me, at least more fun than trying to rank the top 5 players in the world right now.
Well, if Haaland isn't there, Vlahovic is in my team. Okay, I think Vlahovic is the number 2 in the under 21 striker position.
I agree.
Because that number 9 at the back of his shirt, it looks so fitting.
It does.
So.
It does. And the only other guy you got to give a shout in there is up at the top is Karim Adeyemi, and we know why his value's not going to be up there just yet, because he's playing for Red Bull Salzburg. But man, Karim he's balling out for Salzburg.
He is.
So,
he for sure
is. All right,
so,
man.
Any player that we didn't mention, guys, and you feel like should be in this 11, comment down below, okay? And yeah, just tell us why, because as said previously, we like a good chat.